Here we are at the final video in this series, and I want to start by acknowledging something. If you've been working through the workbook and following along with these videos, you've done some real work in self-study, svadhyaya. This isn't the kind of surface-level exploration that you can do while scrolling through your phone. You've been asking yourself hard questions and sitting with honest answers. That takes courage. And it tells me something important about the kind of yoga teacher you are going to be. Today, we're talking about your teaching vision, pulling together everything you've discovered about your story, your message, your rules, and your next steps into a clear picture of where you're headed as a teacher. And then I want to get really practical about what that might look like in terms of the next steps you could take to learn and to grow. And I want to be really honest about something. Your vision is probably going to change. Mine has multiple times over the past 20+ years I've been teaching yoga. The teacher I am today is really different from the teacher I was when I started, and different from the teacher I thought I would become. But having a vision, even one that evolves, gives you something to aim for. It helps you make decisions about opportunities, about continuing education, about how you spend your time and energy. So how do you create a teaching vision? Let me share with you the process I walk through with teachers in my mentorship programs. First, start with service. Who do you most want to serve? Not who you think you should serve or who seems most profitable, but who genuinely lights you up when you think about helping them through yoga. Maybe it's people like you were when you first came to yoga, stressed, tight, skeptical. Maybe it's athletes who need to learn how to balance effort with ease. Maybe it's older adults who want to stay strong and flexible. Maybe it's people dealing with anxiety or grief or major life transitions. There's no wrong answer here. There's only your answer. And when you get clear on who you most want to serve, everything else becomes easier to figure out. Second, think about transformation. What change do you want to help create in people's lives? Again, not the change you think you should want to create, but the change that really feels most meaningful to you. Maybe you want to help people feel comfortable in their bodies. Maybe you want to help them develop tools for managing stress. Maybe you want to help them build physical strength or find inner peace or simply have 1 hour a week where they feel fully present. The transformation you are called to facilitate, that becomes the heart of your teaching vision and your teaching voice. Third, consider your unique approach. Based on everything you've discovered about your story, your message, and your values, how do you want to facilitate that transformation? What's your particular way of teaching and being with students? Now, once you have that clarity, the question becomes, what kind of training or ongoing education will help you serve those students in the way you most envision? Now, once you have that clarity, the question becomes, what kind of training or ongoing education will help you serve those students in the way you envision? And this is where I want to get really practical about your options, because the path you choose should align with both your vision and your life circumstances. If you're just starting out and haven't done a 200-hour training yet, you've got some important choices to make. In the workbook, there's a whole section about assessing your YTT options with a comparison table. And I really want you to use that to think through what works for your learning style, your schedule, and your life. Maybe you're someone who learns best with consistent, supported growth without major life disruption. And if you live in or can travel to North Carolina, our Carborough weekend program might be perfect for you. It's 7 weekends, led by my colleague Alexandra Desiato, along with my mentorship. You get that small cohort experience. We cap it at 15 students, so you're never lost in the crowd. Alexandra is herself a graduate of this program, and many of our current staff teachers at Carborough Yoga came through this training. You keep your regular life, your job, your family routine, but you're steadily building your teaching foundation. Or maybe you're drawn to adventure and want both educational rigor and travel. That's exactly what our Dominica hybrid program offers. You start with self-paced online learning with me. It looks a whole lot like this video. Then you'll complete your training with 2 transformative weeks in paradise at Jungle Bay Resort with my colleague Amy Berner. You get that eco-luxury setting, service projects within the local community, and an experience you will never forget. This is perfect if you can block off 2 weeks and you're someone who thrives in immersive environments. Both of these 200-hour programs give you full 200-hour certification. That means you can register with the Yoga Alliance, but they serve completely different learning styles and different life circumstances. The Carborough program keeps you rooted in your community while you learn, and the Dominica program gives you that retreat-style transformation that can really shift how you see yourself as a teacher and a person. If you already have your 200-hour certification, then we're talking about your path toward 500-hour registration. And here's where it gets really interesting because you get to completely customize your journey. My 300-hour program is modular, which means you don't have to commit to one rigid path. Instead, you choose the components that serve your teaching vision and the students you want to work with. Every pathway starts with my Mastering the Art of Yoga Sequencing mentorship. That's 150 hours of working together over 6 months to develop your sequencing, pedagogical, and professional skills. You get done-for-you lesson plans that you can use immediately, monthly mentoring calls where we workshop your specific teaching challenges, and a community of teachers on the same journey. This is the foundation that helps you stop spending 3 hours planning every class and start teaching with real confidence. From there, you add modules to reach the 270 hours you need for your 300-hour certificate. Maybe you combine MMM with my Teaching Yoga to Athletes program. That's perfect if you want to work with active people who need yoga, but who might be intimidated by traditional yoga spaces. This is a comprehensive program I've been refining since 2012, and it gives you everything you need to serve athletes at every level, from little league to the big leagues. Or maybe you want to specialize in the gentler side of practice. You could combine Mastering the Art of Yoga Sequencing mentorship membership with Teaching Yin Yoga, Teaching Restorative Yoga, or Teaching Balance. These are all available as online modules through Comfort Zone Yoga, so you can learn at your own pace and start implementing immediately. If you prefer in-person learning, you can combine MMM with our weekend workshops at Carborough Yoga. We regularly offer modules like Empowered Touch, Confidence in Hands-on Assists, as well as hybrid models on other subjects. These are intensive weekend formats where you get hands-on practice and direct feedback. Or maybe you want the flexibility to choose your own adventure entirely. You can combine MMM with trainings from my dear colleague Jenny Rawlings, who offers excellent evidence-based movement education, or you can petition for credit for other trainings that serve your own specific interests. The beauty of this modular approach is that it grows with you and serves your actual teaching goals. You're not locked into studying something just because it's required. You're choosing the education that serves the vision you've been developing in this mini course and your workbook. But maybe you're not ready for a full training program yet. Maybe you want to test the waters, or you're already teaching and just want to strengthen specific skills. That's exactly why I created smaller continuing education options. You could start with MMM on its own. 6 months of mentorship will completely transform how you plan and teach classes. This is perfect if you're spending way too much time planning, or if you feel stuck in repetitive class patterns, or if you're thinking about having to take a whole nother 200-hour training because you feel like you aren't quite confident enough. Or try one of my focused courses like Teaching Yin Yoga if you want to add a specialty, or Sutra Study if you want to deepen your understanding of yoga philosophy and how to weave it authentically into classes. There's even the workshop, currently on sale for $57 if you want to learn how to design and lead workshops that actually help your students. This offering pays for itself with your first workshop, and because it's carved out of MMM, when you buy the workshop workbook, you get a credit toward MMM if you decide to join later. And if you're not sure where to start, join The Zone, our free community for yoga teachers. You might be watching this inside the Zone, or you may be watching on YouTube, in which case click the link in the show notes to come through. You'll get monthly live calls where I share teaching tips, a sample greatest hits lesson plan, and a chance to experience my teaching style more before you make any bigger commitments. Here's how I want you to think about choosing your next step. Start with your vision of who you want to serve and how. Then work backward to figure out what skills and knowledge you need to serve them well. If you want to work with people dealing with stress and anxiety, you probably want to learn about the nervous system, about restorative practices, and about creating safe emotional spaces in your classes. Our yin and restorative and a trauma-sensitive framework would all serve you perfectly. If you want to work with athletes or active people, you want to understand how yoga can complement training, how to modify poses for tight, strong bodies, and how to sequence for recovery versus performance. Teaching yoga to athletes is designed exactly for that. If you want to teach general population classes with confidence, you want to get really good at the fundamentals, sequencing, cueing, modifications, creating inclusive environments. That's what MMM is all about. If you're brand new to teaching, you want comprehensive training that gives you both the foundation and the ongoing support to start your career with confidence. That's what my 200-hour programs provide. There's no one right path. There's just the path that serves your vision and fits your life. And here's something else I want you to consider. You don't have to figure this out alone. One of the things I'm most proud of is the community we've built around learning to teach well. Whether that's in our formal training programs or in the free zone community or in my mentorship program, we are all about supporting each other's growth together. If you're feeling overwhelmed by choices or you're not sure what you need next, reach out to me, send me an email, join one of our free monthly calls in the zone, talk to other teachers who have been where you are. Because here's what I've learned after all these years in this field. The yoga world needs all kinds of teachers. It needs the Instagram famous teachers with hundreds of thousands of followers, and it needs the quiet teachers who work with 12 students in a church basement. It needs the teachers who can break down complex poses and the teachers who can hold space for emotional healing. It needs teachers who are 25 and teachers who are 65, teachers who can do advanced poses and teachers who lead from chairs. What the yoga world needs from you is your authentic contribution, your particular way of understanding and sharing this practice. So as you create your teaching vision and find your teaching voice, resist the temptation to compare yourself to other teachers or to try to be what you think the yoga world wants. Instead, trust what you've discovered about yourself through this process. Trust your story. It's preparing you to serve specific students in ways that other teachers can't. Trust your message. It's exactly what some people need to hear. Trust your questions about the rules. They're making you a more thoughtful, adaptive teacher. And trust your next steps. Even the small ones are taking you in the right direction. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something practical. In the Professional Yoga Teacher's Handbook, I write about the importance of having what I call a next step procedure, that system for consistently moving toward your goals. Here's what I want you to do. Based on everything you've discovered through this workbook and these videos, this entire mini course, choose one concrete action you'll take in the next week. Just one. Maybe it's submitting an application for one of our 200-hour programs if you're just starting out or feel like you'd like a redo. Maybe it's reaching out to me about which 300-hour pathway might be right for you. Maybe it's joining MMM to finally get confident with your sequencing. Maybe it's simply coming into the zone to connect to other teachers and get a taste of our community. Whatever it is, make it specific, make it small enough that you can't talk yourself out of it, and then do it. Because your teaching vision isn't just something to think about, it's something to move toward, one step at a time. And remember, you don't have to have it all figured out to begin. You just have to begin. The yoga world is waiting for your voice. Your students, the ones who need exactly what you have to offer, they are out there looking for you. So take that next step, and then take the one after that. I am honored to be part of your journey, and I can't wait to see how your teaching vision unfolds. If this mini course has been helpful, you'll find even more depth and practical guidance in the Professional Yoga Teacher's Handbook, The Art of Yoga Sequencing, and my dozen other books. And whether you're just starting out or looking to deepen your existing teaching, I would love to support you through one of our programs. But for now, take what you've learned, trust your instincts, and start moving toward that vision. The world needs yoga, y'all, and the world needs what you have to offer as a yoga teacher. Thanks for being here, and I hope to see you soon.